We're living in the final part of the last days, undoubtedly, the final part of the final part of the last days.
This is the end of the world. This is the end of the world.
Hello and welcome to the Last Days live stream, the show that brings welcome levity to the end of the world, lifting the spirits of many of you battling boredom, loneliness or anxiety by infecting as many as possible with comfort and distraction as the apocalypse unfolds. What sort of weekend are you all having? How are you? Eric Larson, oh dear, says, I'll be heading out shortly to get tested for COVID. Feeling sick lately. Well, that's very sad, Eric. I hope your symptoms aren't too severe, and well done for getting it seen to as early as possible. Lovely to have you with us for the time that you're here. And hope you're able to sort your health out. And I think just getting some kind of confirmation either way is a good thing, isn't it? Because it might not be COVID. You just want to know for sure, don't you? So that you can take necessary measures. So I think it's safe to say all our thoughts are with you. Alison Fernandez says, good morning. And my, that is quite a prominent lower bite on that dog. That could leave a mark, I think, if I got on the wrong side of that particular canine. So I'm feeling slightly intimidated, I'm not going to lie, Alison, but thank you so much for your greetings. Annika P says, afternoon all, Christmas tree twinkling and log burner going on a dull, chilly day here. Love all the positive chat. Nothing quite like a log burner on a wintry day. And we have another dog there. Teeth not so prominent. I would feel less intimidated, I think, encountering this particular canine. So yes, loving the pets, very prominent pets in today's live stream. Trishan Wright says, hello all from a cold UK. This is the thing about the UK, it does tend to be cold. Although probably we're colder at the moment here in Croatia. It's very, how can I put it? Today's weather was just very foggy and grim. It was sort of the kind of quintessential Halloween. I know it's not Halloween, but it was like quintessential graveyard. The sort of weather where you wouldn't want to be stuck on your own in the middle of a graveyard. Very, very murky, foggy weather. Unpleasant. Can't wait for tomorrow when hopefully it will be clearer. Welcome to Lisa Burberry. Welcome to Nesbo. Afternoon, everyone. Christmas card writing, tree decorating, and Christmas cake feeding. Feeling festive, not pagan, and not a shred of guilt. Pass me the mulled wine. Amen to that, Nesbo. Hope you're enjoying muchos mulled wine throughout today's live stream. You may need it towards the end, depending on how things go with the last day's quiz. Debbie Yule says, another lovely day in Scotland. Love to all. We have greetings from snowy New England in the form of Annie Lane. Welcome, Annie. Let's see here. Annika P says, rarely get snow here. That would be lovely. Oh, you need a bit of snow, I think. Always nice to have snow around the Christmas period. You feel a bit cheated, don't you? If you don't get any snow at all up to or during Christmas, and then it starts snowing bucket loads in January or February. Phil Webb says, hope all is well, Eric. Wife and I both had it back in October. We are late 50s and pulled through. Doctor said to take vitamin D and zinc. Let us know how it turns out. So this is the thing. I mean, we're getting to the point now in this pandemic where it's been going on for so long that we all know people who have had it. And those of us like myself who haven't had it are wondering how the hell we've we've managed to evade it. Probably, I'm also in the back of my mind thinking, have I had it but just not known about it? You know, because that's a thing as well, apparently, isn't it? But yeah, it's let's just hope that that the vaccines can make a difference now that they're being introduced. Donna Baines says, "Good morrow, all. It's a dreary, rainy day in NYC, so I'm ready for a dose of mayhem in the AM." Loving it, Donna Baines. Loving it. And loving that hat as well. So, let's have... Actually, first of all, let's just acknowledge a very kind and generous super chat from Lisa. Thank you very much, Lisa. And we will now go to our book reading. We're making our way through How to Escape from Jehovah's Witnesses by yours truly. Gosh, I haven't marked the paragraph. Where's I up to? Yeah, I think we're now up to this paragraph. So I'll just proceed. You will know that this is something other than a shepherding visit if the tone is the opposite of vague and positive, i.e. specific and negative. A matter has come to our attention lately that has been a cause of great concern for us. We would like to establish exactly what has happened so that we can go about giving you spiritual assistance and ensuring the congregation is kept clean. In this case, I'm afraid the situation is infinitely more serious. You are being judicially investigated. We need to escalate to a red alert. Navigating your way through any part of a judicial investigation is extremely stressful and problematic and will largely depend on the nature of the investigation. Is it for apostasy, or are they investigating you on some other grounds? And crucially, on the elders involved. Are they reasonable, liberal, empathetic elders, or are they heartless watchtower goons who are frantically trying to uncover transgressions that they can penalise? Assuming you want to remain as a Jehovah's Witness, albeit in name only, so that you can continue having family contact while figuring out your escape strategy, you'll be well advised to do or say anything that will get you through the judicial process unscathed. In my previous book, The Reluctant Apostate, I described my own brush with elders when, while still a believer, I decided to involve them in personal indiscretions regarding my marriage. I wrote a letter detailing all the ways I had wronged my wife and posted it through the front door of my coordinator. A judicial committee resulted in which, despite the comprehensive details already divulged, I was interrogated in a needlessly invasive manner on extremely intimate matters. As I explain in my book, I now look back on the whole episode with nothing but regret and annoyance that I involved elders in deeply personal affairs that had nothing to do with them. I wrote that these men had no more right to this information than my local postman or storekeeper. The difference between your postman and an elder is that one has been deluded into believing he has been appointed by God's organisation with the power to interfere in people's private lives under the pretext of rendering spiritual assistance, while the other has not. In reality, neither are entitled to hear about your deeply personal affairs, whether these involve your sex life or your religious beliefs or lack thereof. Any power that an elder has over you is therefore the power you choose to give him. If an elder is little more than a line manager for an organisation that has been repeatedly proved throughout its history to be deceptive, blundering and harmful, ruthlessly prizing its own prosperity over the well-being of individuals to the extent of covering up child abuse on an unfathomable scale, then the elder should be granted no power whatsoever. This is the mindset with which you must approach dealings with elders over judicial matters, but it is crucial that you do not let them realise that they no longer have power over you. If you are to keep your elders off your back, they need to assume that you respect their position and value their involvement, even though you do not. Therefore, your tone should be respectful and accommodating. With this in mind, here are 2 scenarios that you might face, with suggestions on how to deflect accusations that may be levelled at you. Now, I have those two scenarios, but we'll probably save those for the next episode. But yes, this particular chapter is dealing with elders. The chapter is titled Elders Are Not on Your Side. And I think it's important to stress those points that as stressful as judicial action can be, it's important to not let it affect your mental health. And it's important to not give elders power that they aren't entitled to, you know. Anywho, thank you so much to Lisa for, I think, another super chat there. Oh, wow, big one here from David Schmidt. Thank you so much, David. Good morning, all from Australia. 3 a.m. here, battling continuous early waking up, but at least I have good company here today. Lloyd, excited to hear about the channel plans. You deserve every bit of your success. Love to the family. Thank you so much, Dave. Yes, obviously my last upload detailed a number of significant changes, including, spoiler alert, the fact that the channel name's changing at the end of this year. So, you know, big changes coming up. And more than anything, I'm very nervous, is that the word? About bringing in a video editor, having someone work with me on like a weekly basis to improve the quality of the videos. It's all a bit nerve-wracking, but you've got to take these steps into the unknown to, you know, push at those boundaries and see what's possible. And speaking of seeing what's possible, let's bring in the panel who will push at the boundaries of live streaming and take us to new heights of YouTube greatness. Welcome to all of you. We have Arthur, we have Renato, we have Javier, we have Susan, and we have Jana, who I interviewed a few months back. Welcome all.
Hello.
Thanks for having us.
Morning.
Morning, everybody.
Glad to be here.
We're
Renato,
glad to be on the new Lloyd Evans channel.
as of 1st of January.
Not yet.
Yeah.
You see, you're racing ahead of the chariot there, Arthur. Renato's drawn the short straw. Renato's drawn the short straw in having my logo obscure his features.
That's good. That's
But
good.
maybe we'll shuffle things around.
The less of my face you see, the better.
So I've got quite a packed show today. I would ask you, I mean, I don't know whether you have any immediate thoughts having listened in on the reading portion. I suppose it's all fairly straightforward, isn't it?
Yeah, I do have a quick comment. That it's really important for people waking up that elders have absolutely no authority over you. Like Watchtower is a company and they're local managers. And if you work for a company, your local manager has absolutely no right to know what's going on in your personal life. So treat the elders the same. They have no right to know what you're going through. So don't tell them.
Well said. Well said. On the other hand, a moderator of last day's quiz has ultimate power and should be feared.
Yeah.
Should be feared, definitely.
Absolutely.
The power of cold pizza.
The last live stream that you did, Lloyd, when you were reading from the book, you read a pre-written statement that you came up with, and when I was going through my dissociation process, that actually really helped to tell the elders that I needed space and that it wasn't the right time for me spiritually to speak with them, and they respected that. I mean, they kept calling, but they did. they kind of released a little bit of the pressure. So that was a very helpful.
Well, as I've said before, you wouldn't think you'd need a book to leave a religion. The very fact that you do need a book or you do need some kind of guidance kind of says a lot about the religion if it's so hard to leave, and if there are so many ways that you can get it wrong.
You know what worked for me was the last time I had a circuit overseer with one of the local congregation elders came. They wanted to speak to me, and I said I would agree for them to come back if they would sign a video release form because I was going to film the whole thing. It's been a couple years now. They've never come back. So.
Isn't it odd that they haven't taken you up on that?
No. I thought it would have been good television.
Almost as though they have something to hide. Just, on the face of things. Many thanks to Rianne for your super chat. Thanks for all the support for me and my family. My brother is reading The Reluctant Apostate now. Ooh. He texts me every day and says, "Did you know this? Look what this guy found out." Fantastic. I'm so pleased to hear that. And suffice to say, I learned a lot while writing that. You know, I knew more about the organization once I'd finished writing the book than I did when I started. So that was quite a long process, as Arthur will testify, because he was with me during much of that, doing the formatting. So, yeah. But it's nice to see it having an effect and having an impact on people's lives, isn't it, Arthur?
Yeah, it is. I also have someone in my close vicinity who has been reading The Reluctant Apostate, and she reached page 600 or so, and she's really enjoying it.
Oh, wonderful. Excellent. So, yeah, a few people have been asking about an audiobook version, and what I'm doing is I'm waiting until I do the second edition, until I do the audiobook, because otherwise I have to duplicate my efforts, and I don't want to do that. So once the second edition is out, I'll then immediately start on an audiobook, and it will be easier to do an audiobook once I have a video editor. So everything's slowly falling into place.
Work
Now,
smarter, not harder.
exactly. Now we have a video. It's quite fascinating because, as viewers of season 1 will remember, we were repeatedly putting out calls for people to send us in brief video clips if they had a message for us. Can't speak. The email address to use if you want to share an unlisted YouTube video with the Last Days live stream is this one here. And it's a bit like waiting for the bus. No buses at all, and then 2 come along at once. We have 2 videos to show in today's show. One of them I've decided to use for the quiz. You know how in the Super Bowl they have a halftime show?
Yeah.
Well, this is an original song that an XJW in Germany has written about Christmas from an XJW perspective.
Wow.
And it's so good, I thought we'd have it as the halftime show in the Last Days quiz. The other one
Fantastic.
is an XJW who was giving blood for the first time. So let me just mess around a little bit here and try and find it for you. Share audio. Sharing audio is important. And I think we might have it here. Is that visible?
Yes, it is.
Okay, let's give it a play.
Hi, so I'm doing a thing today. For the very first time, I'm donating blood. So I'll let you know how it goes. Okay. I'm doing it. Yay! It's working. Isn't this cool?
That's excitement or terror. One of the two. But this is fantastic, isn't it?
I love how it's produced.
Bonus snacks. If they're going to give us snacks, sign me up. I'll be there. But that's fantastic, isn't it? That's Mildred Willow who's sent that in. So thank you so much, Mildred. That's brilliant. And congratulations.
Wonderful, Mildred.
Oh,
That's amazing.
yeah. Congratulations.
Isn't that inspirational?
Absolutely. Like,
Very much, yeah.
Yeah, and I also loved how Brenda produced her video so professionally.
it might
Yes.
be your video editor, Lloyd. You might be looking too hard.
Brenda, aka Mildred, please write in to the John Cedars channel. I am currently looking for a video editor, and you clearly have what it takes. I'll even throw in some snacks. But no, that was brilliant. Thank you so
I
much
loved
indeed.
her excitement. The first time I donated blood, I fainted. So I was expecting the camera to go wobbly after a little bit.
it's going to be weird. I mean, I haven't done it yet. I feel a kind of a hypocrite for encouraging everyone else to do it. It's just haven't got round to it, basically. But I do it for the first time. It will be a mix of excitement and also, this is a bit unusual. But, the thrill of saving lives is something that can't be compared. So,
something that they told us we were doing when we were going door to door.
Indeed. Now, speaking of excitement, I'm very, very excited for what we have coming up next, because I need to stay, like many of you, I need to stay on top of culture and movies, and there's no better way of doing that than with Javi's movie review.
Sorry, I'm just getting rid of the last remnants of my cut scrub.
Just a quick legal disclaimer. This segment isn't brought to you by St. Ives Apricot Scrub. It's just that Javi likes it. So for now, we're working on it. We're working on it.
You're good. You'll see. Everybody on this panel will be wearing apricot scrub soon. Brought to you also by Papyrus Font. So thank you, Lloyd. Thank you for that intro. So I have I have one review. So I've watched this one, and I have one that I'm going to suggest for everyone to watch because there's a JW connection to it. But the first film is called Mank, and it just came out yesterday on Netflix. It's a biographical drama directed by David Fincher, who we all know if you've ever watched Seven, Fight Club, Panic Room, Zodiac, The Social Network. I mean, his filmography is amazing. And it was written by his father, Jack Fincher. And it stars your countrymen, Lloyd, Gary Oldman, Amanda Seyfried, and Lily Collins.
I was going to say, because a Mank, I'm technically a Mank because I was born in Manchester. Is that what the theme refers to?
No, actually. It refers to... So the film is about Herman Mankiewicz, who was the screenwriter for Citizen Kane, which is, many people consider it one of the best films ever, Citizen Kane. And it's a weird film because, one, it's in black and white. And there's kind of an unwritten rule in Hollywood that you don't make films about making films. And this is exactly what this is. It's the story of Hank, who is called Mank in the story. That's what his friends call him, about his experience writing the screenplay for Citizen Kane. He was in an accident. He breaks his leg, and he's shacked up in a cabin in California. But what I like about it is that this is a film about old Hollywood. So it's about like the studio system, Louis B. Mayer. It has to do with, Citizen Kane was supposedly it was based on the life of William Randolph Hearst, who was a big he used to own all the newspapers in on the West Coast of the United States. He was a very powerful man back in the day, and it much of it is filmed in San Simeon, California, which I think I talked to you about, Lloyd. It's some of the most beautiful country in the States. Is up in Central Coast, California. William Randolph Hearst has a huge castle that he built up there. But that's what this story is about. So it doesn't, I recommend you watch it because it's got some really snappy dialogue. I don't know how they even made the audio sound the way the old movies, the black and white movies in the 40s and 50s used to sound. But I
love it when they do that. Yeah.
It's amazing.
It goes a bit of effort.
They added, the old film movies that had the little glitches in them with the little spirals would pop out in the film and stuff. Like, they incorporated that into the film. So it really does, it looks and it feels like an old film, but it was shot in widescreen. So you have the 16:9 aspect ratio. It's amazing camera work and stuff like that. But if anyone is into like those old movies, it's a great movie. And I liked everything about it. If I had seen this the log line for this film written down. I'm like, I'm not going to watch this, but because it was David Fincher, and he's one of my favorite directors, I did watch it, and I was very, very pleased. So I highly recommend that one. It's on Netflix now. It's called Mank by David Fincher. Check it out if you can. I enjoyed it very much.
Excellent. What a wonderful recommendation. Thank you.
So the other one I want to pitch, and I haven't started this one because it's a series and it just came out yesterday as well. It's Selena, the series. And you might know about this, Lloyd, but Selena was a famous Tejano singer here in the United States. She had a huge following, and unfortunately, she was murdered by actually a friend of hers back in the 90s. And this show it was created by Moises Zamora, who is a up and coming Mexican American TV writer. He's done some work on American Crime and a couple of other shows. He's really good. And produced by Luisa Gomez de Silva. And so it's basically it's a coming of age story. It's her rise to fame, and all of the different choices that she had to make and sacrifice she had to make for the love of music and what she wanted to do with her life. But the JW connection is that her family they were all Jehovah's Witnesses.
Oh.
So Abraham Quintanilla, who was her father and her manager, and he taught all these kids their love for music. They were JWs, and so I don't know if that comes into play in this story the way it was written, but it did pop up in the film that they made several years after she died, that starred Jennifer Lopez. So I recommend the show, not because I've watched it, but I have a feeling it's going to be good because of the writers and the team that they put together to tell this story. But there's that JW connection, so.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I look forward to checking those out, and thank you for that recommendation. Jana is a screenwriter as well, so Jana's a bit of a movie buff, I would imagine. No? But you have done some writing for a screenplay?
I can hear everybody else, but I can't hear Lloyd.
Oh, she can't hear us. Okay.
But we could have in the future a screenplay written by Jana and directed by Javi.
Okay.
Produced by JLE Productions.
I do feel sorry
Can
for
they
Jana.
hear me? Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you, yeah.
I can't hear Lloyd at all. I can hear everyone else except for Lloyd.
So Lloyd said that you're a screenwriter.
Yes, I am.
As well.
This is rather odd, but Renata, could you tell Jana to... Come back? Yeah, leave and come back, yeah.
Yes, you should do that, please.
All right.
Now, Jana's going to be gutted about this because I know from earlier conversations with her that one of the things that she was most looking forward to about appearing on today's Last Days live stream was an opportunity to be here for our next segment, which is a thing of greatness, which many people... Let's just do it. Oh, sorry, that's not Arthur. Sorry. My bad. Sorry, they do look similar, but sorry, go on, Arthur.
Hello, dear brothers and sisters, dear friends, and all of our viewers, and welcome to a fresh episode of your favorite hit factory in the apostate world, Sing Along with Arthur. As you well know, in the past season, we had certain episodes when we went international. We sang covers and mixtapes of internationally released songs, Italian or French.
Oh no.
Today, we're going to travel to another international location.
No.
An exotic location. Why not?
No.
And because our panel is internationally represented, we all know.
No.
our random number generator has picked some wonderfully exciting GPS coordinates.
Okay.
And tonight, or this morning, if we take into account American time zones, we are going to Brazil.
Oh no.
Yes, exactly, because Renato, don't touch my tomato, is from Brazil. So,
did you just say, Renato, don't push my tomato?
Let's just ignore that.
I don't even understand.
No, don't touch my tomato.
He wasn't going to touch your tomato. Renato, were you interested in touching Arthur's tomato at any point during that monologue?
Let's just keep going, Lloyd, because I have so many comments that I can't say right now.
So
I think Renato's blushing.
Welcome back, Jana.
Jana, can you hear us? Can you hear us?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Good.
Yes.
We can hear you, and you haven't missed much. Only Arthur is threatening to butcher a song from Renato's country.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
No, it's not fantastic.
So our dear friends, can you think of one well-known Brazilian song that hit the airwaves in this past decade?
I know.
Oh no!
I know.
No!
I know. It's Dança Kuro, right?
No.
Oh,
it's I So Te Pego. I bet
Precisely.
No.
It's
That is already the worst song of all time, and you're gonna cover it?
Yeah, it's probably the only song I know in Portuguese. But because I have a lot of respect for you, Renato, and I don't want to butcher the Portuguese language, I decided
all I will say is, Arthur, just remember that Renato will be moderating the quiz later, and how he feels about the song may be reflected in the rigorousness with which he moderates your participation. Just something to think about.
I feel good about today, then.
So
we don't want demerits before we even start.
So, dear viewers, let's see a apostate take on I Say Te Pego.
Oh my lord.
I'm so ready.
Are you ready?
No.
So ready.
Okay, then let's hit play. Sister, I'm happy to have met ya. Let's preach to the people to make them join the sheeple. Our Father, Jehovah, examines hearts and kidneys. Once he's done his messing, you can surely feel the blessing, eh? Saturday in the field service, we resumed going from door to door. I paired up with a good-looking sister. There was so much joy like never before. Sister, I'm happy to have met you.
That'll be vodka in there.
Speech to the people to make them join the sheeple. Your Father, Jehovah, examines hearts and kidneys. Once he's done his messing, you can surely feel the blessing, eh?
I feel the blessing.
On Saturday, we have our assembly with all the best new spiritual food. Our attendance
You have to take the lid off, Susan. Not doing it properly.
And our ministry in the whole neighborhood. Sister.
Oh, he's gone. He couldn't take any more.
Let's preach to the people to make them join the sheeple. Our Father, Jehovah, examines hearts and kidneys. Once he's done his messing, you can surely feel the blessing. Amen!
Wow, hearts and kidneys. Somehow somebody put those lyrics into a song. That's amazing.
Sister, I'm happy to have met ya. Let's preach to the people to make them join the sheeple. Our Father, Jehovah, examines hearts and kidneys. Once he's done his messing, you're gonna surely feel the blessing. Amen! Praise the Lord.
Oh.
Praise the Lord.
Get back with your bad stuff.
Well, what can we say?
Well,
Was that
it
Reagan?
was wonderful.
well.
And then my soul slowly started dying towards the end there.
Well, what we can say is that it was singing and there was music. There were lyrics and there were lyrics and words and a beat, and there was a backing track.
Lloyd, I can see in the chat that there are Brazilians watching the show right now. Do you allow me to send a quick message to them in Portuguese?
Yeah.
Desculpa, pessoal. Eu não tenho nada a ver com isso, tá? Basically, what I just said is, I'm sorry, I had nothing to do with this.
Yeah.
That's what this is.
On behalf of the last day's live stream, we apologise to all of Brazil in case we have offended you in any way by Arthur's performance, which, although being wildly entertaining, has probably disenfranchised a large swathe of John Cedar's viewers in that particular country.
It's actually not really about Arthur's performance. It's about people in Brazil having to hear that song again, because as a country, we just got that song out of our heads.
Okay, you want nothing more to do with it. Okay, yeah.
And now we have to listen to that again. And now it's going to be
the baby shark of Brazil. Okay.
Yes, pretty much so.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, why did you put that back in my head?
Thank you, Arthur. Thank you for throwing yourself into that performance. And we now, as a panel, throw ourselves into the last day's quiz.
As one brother put it, stay alive to 75.
Yes, hello and welcome to the last day's quiz, the ultimate battle of minds, as two teams of today's panelists face off against each other to prove their knowledge of Jehovah's Witnesses and their doomsday dogma. Renato, where are we up to with the scores?
Oh, hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the quiz, week 4 of the last day's quiz, season 2. So after the first 3 weeks, we have Team O'Donnell in first place, Team D'Souza in second, Arthur's Knights in third, and Team Havalicious is last. Team Havalicious is the only team yet to win the quiz, but obviously they have a chance today.
Did you say to win the quiz or to not win the quiz?
They're yet to win.
They're yet to win.
The only team yet to win. So
Okay.
they have a chance to get their first victory today. And as a surprise, it might shock you, but I will not deduct any points from Arthur for that, because that was actually quite good. So
Okay.
I won't. Yeah, it starts with
Okay.
0, like everybody.
That's
There
very
was a
generous
chance,
of you.
There was a chance though he would start like -10, but the song wasn't as bad as I thought. So
Now, before we ask you, Renato, to demonstrate your tossing prowess, I
yes.
wonder whether you could just summarize, for the benefit of the panelists, what's required in terms of penalties. You don't have to go through all of the penalties.
No.
The biggest penalty is suspicion of cheating. What would be your advice to just any of the team members?
yeah, no one in particular.
And I'm
right?
not singling out anyone at all,
Yeah,
really,
we're
but
not
just
talking about
any of the team members. what would be your advice to evade the penalty of suspicion of cheating?
Yeah, just to be clear, we're not being specific about any one team member who has been found so many times in suspicion of cheating. We're not doing that at all right now, okay? Just to make it clear.
How would you evade that particular penalty?
Two very simple things. When you're listening to the question, look at the camera. Don't look at the screen or look to the side or anywhere else. And certainly do not make keyboard noises while you're answering a question. That's very important.
So would you say that having your eyes to the side of the screen or above the screen or below the screen while simultaneously there being keyboard noises would lead you to suspect that someone was perhaps Googling the answer?
That would be a fair assumption, yes.
Okay. Thanks. I think it's important to understand all of these, because Renato applies the cheating penalty and all the other penalties with scientific rigor.
Yes.
Accuracy.
Exactly. Now, let's just shuffle things around. Let's get the things lined up in teams. So to the right, we have Team Havalicious. I'll actually put the team captain on top there. And in the middle there, we have Arthur's Knights. Susan, obviously, resuming her role in that particular team. Now, what we need now is an example of some expert tossery from you, if that's okay. Okay, please, Renato.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Renata.
So,
don't be shy.
Oh, that's never a problem. So, let's go with Team Havalicious today. Would you like heads or tails?
Heads or tails, Javi?
Heads.
Okay.
Heads.
Time to toss. It is heads.
Heads. There we go. So, Team Havalicious goes first.
Well, we won the toss, and that's probably all we're going to win today, because I suck.
Also,
come on.
Susan.
Come on now. He who dares wins. So, okay, we're into the first round. They wouldn't write that. I am going to read you 3 quotes, supposedly from this booklet. Hang on, let me just put it on full screen. This booklet, which is titled, intriguingly, Protection from Those Who Seek to Hurt or Destroy Me. How can I find it? I regularly refer to this booklet whenever there are people who seek to hurt or destroy me.
Did you hand draw this and make this up all right now?
No, this is an actual booklet produced by the Faithful Slave, and I will say, whenever I am being troubled by people who seek to hurt or destroy me, I've found the advice in this to be top notch. It really has got me through some tough times. So
basically, you consult this once a week, is what you're saying.
Basically, yeah. Even though it was written.
Yeah, it's actually God-inspired or Holy Spirit-directed spiritual food.
Indeed. So, anyway, from 1936, no less. So I'm going to read you 3 quotes, one of which is not in this booklet. You need to tell me which one is fake. Quote number 1. The name Jehovah's Witnesses is the name which Jehovah himself gives to those who are the faithful and true followers of Christ Jesus. It is not the name of a sect or cult or denomination, but the name of true Christians by which they are identified. That's quote number 1. Quote number 2. Agents of Satan seek to hurt Jehovah's Witnesses by spreading lies about them, even subjecting them to physical harm on occasion. As soldiers of Christ, God's people press on with their vital preaching work, no matter the personal hardship or injury. The day when they can see Jehovah and the angels exact vengeance on their behalf is fast approaching. That's quote number 2. Quote number 3. Jehovah's Witnesses have no alternative. They must obey God's commandments as uttered by Christ Jesus, and a failure to do so means their destruction. When the law of men made by the legislative bodies of the world is in conflict with God's law, then a Christian must obey the law of God, even though by doing so he is brought into jeopardy by the laws of the land. So which quote is fake? Is it quote 1, 2, or 3?
This was written in 1936?
Yes.
Okay. So that's right after they took the name Jehovah's Witnesses officially, right?
As soon as he started reading the first one, I was like, wait, that might be too early for the term to be defined. And then I was like, man, the second one includes it. So
yeah. So I think the first one's real because of that, because I would imagine they would have been trying to promote the name and clarify it and explain it to people. So I don't know. Do you agree, Jen?
Oh yeah, I think it's number 2.
You think it's number 2?
Yeah.
All right. I'll go with number 2.
Is that your final answer?
Well, I don't know. When you made that face, it made me doubt myself.
No.
You use that Vader voice too, like.
Is that your final
And the
answer?
raised eye.
Take it from the team captain.
Is that your final answer?
All right, let's pull the trigger. Final answer number 2 is the fake one.
And you are correct.
Oh no,
You've got your first points on the board.
Lloyd, you're terrible.
I know.
Every week they got you. Every week.
I've lost it. What can I say? What can I say?
Don't get your hopes up, Ronaldo. This is the only one we've ever got.
So it's all.
Javi, I'll tell you this. If you don't get any penalties the rest of the way, you already have more points than you had the first time you played.
Just to be clear, how many
That's
points?
encouraging.
How many points in the league was Javi on before this quiz?
4,
And how many has he just won?
5.
So he's already more than doubled his points from the whole.
It's all about the playoffs, all right?
Okay.
Every season doesn't count. It's all about the playoffs.
So obviously, I'm losing my touch with these quotes. So it's almost inevitable that Arthur will also answer correctly. But we shall see. We're now delving into this booklet. Hopefully, you can see it on the small angle. Can you live forever in happiness on earth? And this was printed in 1950. So, Arthur's Knights, you need to tell me which of the following 3 quotes is not in this brochure, in this booklet, sorry. Quote number 1. Some of you may now be aged and near a natural death, but whether you live long enough to survive the Battle of Armageddon or whether you succumb before then to the death which you inherited from Adam, you're now taking in knowledge of the only true God and his Christ is necessary for your everlasting life. That's quote number 1. Quote number 2. Wielding his iron rod of judgment, Christ and his heavenly armies will soon smash to smithereens Satan's system of things, including all who oppose his rulership or fail to subject themselves to Jehovah's sovereignty. The spectacle will be terrifying for those being exterminated, but God's people will rejoice in their salvation and the cleansing of evil from the earth. That's quote number 2. Quote number 3. To get rid of rats in a house, is it necessary to burn down the whole house? Jesus Christ did not have to destroy the heavens in order to clear them of the devil and his demons. He simply cast them out and down to the earth. And now, why does he have to destroy the earth, his footstool, in order to destroy all his enemies held here under his feet? So which quote is the fake one? Is it quote 1, 2, or 3?
What are you thinking, Arthur?
Well, I think that before I go into answering the question, I would like to focus our attention to some source of monetization in the person of Javi's dog.
No. I'm going to have to press you for an answer. Even though Javi's dog is very cute, everyone can see it. Everyone can choose to look at Javi's screen if they so wish. I'm going to have to press you for an answer, Arthur's Knights. Which is the fake quote? Is it quote 1,
Arthur,
2, or
you're
3?
going to get us penalized.
What do you think?
Okay,
One
Arthur,
or
in quote number 2, they use smash to smithereens. Would they use smash to smithereens, do you think?
No, but there was quote number 2 at the previous question. So I don't think Lloyd would go twice with the same quote number.
Oh, okay. Well, what do you think?
Quote number 3 is also too outlandish to be fake. So I would go for quote number 1.
You can't be too outlandish. You can't be too outlandish as a WT writer. I want to say that Lloyd wrote number 2.
I would say for quote number 1.
Okay.
Even if actually quote number 1 might be a bit more orthodox, but Lloyd could attempt to trap us with the orthodoxness of the quote.
I'm going to have to press you for a final answer. Was it quote 1, 2, or 3?
1.
Arthur's Knights, you have chosen as your final answer quote number 1, and you are incorrect. It was quote number 2.
Oh,
I told you. I told you.
Listen to the woman.
I told you.
I mean,
oh my goodness.
Surely the way Susan is deporting herself would itself give credence to anything that she suggests. So.
Right.
How you've missed that one there, Arthur. So at the end of that round, perhaps Renato could give us the scores.
Yes, so after the first round, Team Havalicious is in the lead with 5 points against Arthur's Knights 0.
Okay. As we career into round 2, now, when I'm doing the preparation for the last day's quiz, sometimes I have time to select in advance songs to choose. When I don't have the time, I just leave it up to the day. So I'm just going to flick through this book, Sing to Jehovah, and randomly choose lyrics, and you have to complete them, and it's Team Havalicious up first.
I'm really bad at this, so I'm leaning on you.
Jana, when did you last attend a meeting?
2018.
So you will be familiar with these newer songs, or more
Honestly,
familiar.
I didn't even, when they started saying download the songs from the website, I was like, no, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah, my thing is, I was in the Spanish congregation, so it never sounds familiar to me when they do this.
But you know, this book was released in 2009. So between 2009 and 2017, they used Sing to Jehovah.
Team Havalicious, complete the lyric. Forward, boldly preach the kingdom message ever far and wide. If you need me to sing it, I can do.
Ever far and wide.
Do you need me to sing it?
Yes.
Forward, boldly preach the kingdom message ever far and wide.
The melody sounds familiar, but I can never.
On Jehovah's side. That part. You need to come up with the first part.
Can we add blah 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 for the parts that we don't know?
Unfortunately, I can't accept. I can give you one word deviation, but it seems that you don't know the answer to that one, so I'm going to forfeit it to Arthur's Knights.
Wait, no, she said she gave an answer.
To the last, give me the last 3 words.
Faithful, loyally remaining on Jehovah's side.
Yes, that's what we said.
You got the words, Arthur, just not the melody.
The
but
melody,
yeah,
so-
I have to give you the words. So well done, Arthur's Knights, for stealing the points on that. We now move over to Arthur's Knights for their lyric that they need to complete. Stay awake, stand firm, grow mighty, be determined to endure.
Sing it.
Susan?
Sing it.
Stay awake, stand firm, grow mighty, be determined to endure.
Carry on as man of courage, for the victory is sure.
Yeah, again, not the melody, but you did certainly get the words. So uncanny, really, for a Romanian who never attended meetings in English. But yes, well done, Arthur.
Yeah.
We move back to Team Havalicious.
Are we still doing lyrics? Oh,
There's a lot of them, Javi.
It's kind of unfair challenge against the karaoke king over here, but all right.
I feel like he still listens to them.
He remixes them.
When lame ones leap just like the heart, when loved ones never have to part.
I know this one. Hold on. All right, can you sing it?
Oh God.
When lame ones
When lame ones leap just like the heart, when loved ones never have to part.
Nope. It's gone. It's gone. I'm really proud of myself that it's gone.
It's actually a good thing. Yeah. How Arthur's able to remember all of these lyrics. They're clearly etched into his subconscious from all the English language meetings he didn't attend. So we now move to Arthur's Nights to complete that particular lyric.
Such
Arthur, if you can't do it,
times you'll realize if you keep your eyes on the prize.
Amazing that he's been able to remember those words despite not knowing the melody. But
Next line, though.
uncanny. Uncanny.
It's so impressive.
Isn't that like
So
2 lines down?
we move to Arthur's Nights. And then
Does he steal the points for getting it if we don't get it? Is that how it works?
Yeah, they get your points. Kinda.
All right, I think we need to get puppies back into the shot to distract Arthur.
Oh, he's too focused on the lyrics segment. Nothing can distract him.
Lol.
We got
He's
to pull
actually
through
on
on
the
this,
right
Arthur. I've never been on a losing team.
No,
You know,
of course not.
I've been a pinch hit like 5 times. I don't think I've ever been on a losing team. We got to stay strong here.
We have to have the help of the.
we must. Do we have
Need to be
the faith?
serious. This is very serious.
Just going to have to ask for some quiet now while I read the lyrics to Team Havalicious, is it?
No, Arthur's Nights.
Sorry, to Arthur's Nights. Move ahead to maturity.
Move ahead,
Eyes on the camera
to
on your
maturity.
webcam, please, Arthur. Thanks.
Oh.
So
Move
the
ahead.
Move ahead to maturity.
it's the will of our God to gain ability.
It's the will. Could you just repeat that answer?
It's the will of our God that we gain ability.
Correct.
That we can.
And now we move to.
It sounds like he was reading that. I'm just gonna say
Well, we'll
it.
let Renato adjudicate at the end. So,
I'm just speaking out loud here.
Team Havalicious. Mercifully, we'll have the halftime show very shortly. Team Havalicious, complete the lyric. Then forward, you witnesses, ever strong of heart.
Rejoice that in God's work you too may have a part.
Correct.
Oh, we got one.
Arthur's Nights.
Great.
I think this is the last one, isn't it, Renato? Please tell
It
me
is.
yes. Okay.
It is.
Beauty in Grey-Headedness. What an odd name for a song.
That's Javi's story, you could say.
Oh, smack talk there. Smack talk.
Sorry, Javi.
All right, Renato. The gauntlet is down. I see.
Before this quiz descends into anarchy, I need to spit some lyrics out. I
hat.
Hey, put. I'll pass it down and then you grab it from the top. You ready?
Oh wait, it's the wrong side.
Okay, Arthur's Knights. Complete the lyric. Looking squarely at the webcam. Make the truth your own. Make it live. Yes, make it real. Looking squarely at the webcam.
And I feel the joy Jehovah gives you when you make the truth your own.
Again, without mastering in any way, shape, or form the melody, you have recited the correct lyrics. So we will award you that one. And now...
That's the edited version, isn't it? The new version?
The new version, yeah.
Yeah.
From this songbook. Now, mercifully, to spare my sanity, we have a half-time show. But before we do that, we'll have Renato adjudicate as to the scores.
Yes, sir. So after the second round, Team Havalicious have 7 points. And Arthur's Knights also have 7 points. They would have had 10, but suspicion of cheating.
Okay. So we now move to the halftime show. Let me bring that up as quickly as I can. Okay, here we are. So this is an XJW from Germany called Dave Midnight. And his original song is Christmas Comes Around.
Never told what Christmas is all about. For this is a kind of riddle to me, and I have never felt the warmth of heartbeats. So this is a kind of trouble to me. I see living rooms and candles glowing, and families, boys and girls are knowing. Despite the presents they were showing, the parents' love that's always growing. Christmas comes around when I feel lonely. Time for me to sum up all my life. Christmas comes around just like a mystery, a feeling overpowering all my soul. I was never told what glistening is all about. For this is a kind of dazzling to me, and I have never felt the warmth of heartbeats. So this is a kind of trouble to me. I hear angel bells and tin trees falling, a Christmas ringtone of grandma's calling, the noise of a new dawn Christmas comes around when I feel lonely. Time for me to sum up all my life. Christmas comes around just like a mystery. A feeling overpowering all my soul. Christmas comes around when I feel lonely. Time for me to sum up all my life. Christmas comes around just like a mystery. A feeling overpowering all my soul.
That was Christmas Comes Around by Dave Midnight. So, what did we think, gang?
That was a foot tapper, man.
Yeah.
That was
Who
excellent.
rocked out?
It's catchy, wasn't it?
Good.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
catchy, amazing,
There you go.
very professionally
where are they
produced.
from?
They're from Germany. It's actually a German XJW singing in English, and I personally have so much respect for people who are able to do that. So I think it's a fantastic skill to be able to be so multilingual that you can sing in another language. That's brilliant.
Yeah, it had
Yeah.
a 80s,
It was awesome.
like a 80s hair metal band feel to it. Kind of like
Yeah,
Queensryche
yeah.
reminded me a little bit. It's pretty cool.
Now, speaking of things that have an 80s feel, it's time to move on to our next round.
I don't care what anybody says, Santa's creepy as heck.
It's time to move on to our next round, the fanny pack of facts.
Yes.
In this, hang on a minute. I just need to compose myself briefly.
You got to set up a versus battle between Dave and Arthur for sure. That's got to be on one.
The fanny pack of facts. In this round, we succumb to the irresistible urge to unzip the fanny pack of facts and immediately feel dirty for giving free rein to our primal urge to plunder its tepid payload, foraging like rabid badgers for tasty facts that, if categorized, would fall under the topic of Watchtower history. But just as a real fanny pack is an abomination that will only make you hate yourself once it is attached to your abdomen, the zippy lips of the fanny pack of facts are legendary for contaminating truth with error, innocence with scandal, purity with perversion. Today's teams now brace themselves for a tantalizing barrage of dubious statements and decide which are true and which are false. Thank God that's over. I don't know who writes this stuff. I feel like I need a shower every time I introduce this round. I don't know why.
I love the zippy lips so much.
So, who's first? Team Havalicious. True or false? The 1992 yearbook tells of a travelling overseer in the Solomon Islands who was asked to take off his trousers by a village chief. Is it true or is it false?
That sounds familiar, yeah. What do you say, true?
Yeah, I'm going with true.
I'll say true.
Final answer?
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Well, you're correct. It is true. That is actually a thing. It was a travelling overseer in the Solomon Islands.
Because they wore skirts, right?
The chief told him that he wanted my long trousers. Now I looked worried. I did not have a spare pair of trousers, and it was not proper for a circuit overseer to walk around without trousers. I begged the brother, an intermediary, I think, to go back quickly and convince the chief that while he and his people may feel perfectly comfortable wearing nothing at all, I was a man from a different country with completely different customs, and one of them was that we did not, under any circumstances, appear naked in public. The chief, though, coveted my trousers. However, after a long discussion, negotiations, you might say, the brother convinced the chief to leave my trousers with me. I was relieved. From that time on, I have not worn long trousers to any village. I wear shorts, just like the rest of my brothers do.
Wow, what an experience.
How culturally toned up.
Spiritual food at the proper time, one might say.
We all needed to hear.
So we move on. We move on to Arthur's Nights. True or false? A 1998 Awake tells of a form of wine yeast that can produce an aroma akin to sweaty horse blanket.
That's true.
That's true.
Yeah, I remember the article.
Sure you do. Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Yes.
I should have a zoom on this.
Yes.
I feel like I... Hang on, let me try and imitate a zoom.
Perfect.
But yeah, I need a producer. So anyway, I'll take this true as your final answer, and it is correct. That did appear in a 1998 Awake. A certain wine yeast produces an aroma that may be interpreted in various ways, says researcher Jane Robichaud. It depends on how sensitive somebody is as to whether it is adding complexity to the wine or giving the smell of a sweaty horse blanket. So there we go. Spiritual food, one might say.
Sweat.
Even horses sweat, yeah, one would think.
And
That's some spiritual drinks right there.
And someone had to go around sniffing the blankets. That's the important thing.
Indeed. How did the wine tester know that was a smell, or how were they familiar with that aroma? One might ask. Questions need to be asked.
I could just, you know, those people who taste the wines and then they go, yeah, that's an oaky.
I've encountered this before. Oh yes, sweaty horse blanket. Anyway, Team Havalicious. The fanny pack of facts cares not for this jesting and demands an answer to the following. Bethelites required to do overtime can ask their department overseer for the equivalent number of hours as free time the following week. Is it true or is it false?
I'm going to go with false. What is free time in Bethel? It's a privilege to serve Jehovah.
That would seem, so that's comp time. That would seem like a reasonable accommodation in anyone's normal job. And I'm going to say that Bethel probably didn't offer that to their Bethelites.
So we're going with false?
What do you think?
I said false.
Okay, so we're going with false.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, sir. It's my final answer.
Team Havalicious, you have answered false, and you are correct. It is false, and I have here the Dwelling Together in Unity book, which on page 9 reads thus.
That's messed up.
Is it page 9? At times, you may be required to put in extra hours to take care of necessary assignments. Additionally, you may be given dish duties, lobby duties, watchman duties, and possibly other assignments. There is no arrangement to have an equal amount of time off for these additional periods of service. Really, we should be happy to render this extra service. So.
It's a privilege to serve Jehovah.
That is so messed up. I think that's illegal too. Like in regular work, whatever they have to do.
Slave labor, one might call it. Yeah.
So come to Bethel, work for free. If you do extra work, it's just extra work. Thank you.
Don't have any time to yourself. Okay, so we now move on to the final question of the round. Arthur's Nights, true or false? According to a 1971 Awake, ferrets respond sexually to long periods of light. Is it true or is it false?
Susan?
He defers on that one, huh?
Please let it be false. Please be false.
Okay, we'll go with false.
I'm taking as your final answer false, and it is incorrect. It's actually true. According to the 1971 Awake, is it July 8th, page 15? Similar experiments were conducted on ferrets, which also normally breed in spring or early summer. These small animals, too, mated in winter when they were exposed to extra periods of light. Both starlings and ferrets are long-day creatures. They are among those creatures that respond sexually to long periods of light. So spiritual food, one might say, at the proper time.
So ferrets get it on with the lights on. That's what you're saying.
It seems so. We have it on good authority by those who monitor that sort of activity in ferrets. God bless them.
Same person who sniffed horse sweat.
So at the end of the final pack of facts, perhaps Renato can update us on the scores.
Man, these publications. So after 3 rounds, Team Havalicious is still in the lead with 17 points. And Arthur's Knights are in second with 12. So all still to play for ahead of the final round.
So 17-12 is the score at the moment.
Yes, sir.
Oh, boy.
Okay, that is very close. Very close indeed. So let's get this underway. The final round, Apocalypse Delayed, the Great Leveler, because a correct answer in this round, and there are 2 for each team, equates to 10 points. Bags you 10 points. So, Team Havalicious, you need to give me the year that the following was printed. Our hope for early deliverance by God's kingdom is fortified as we see Bible prophecies being fulfilled in the relentless countdown to Armageddon. We know that this war of the great day of God the Almighty will come exactly at the appointed time, for the vision keeps panting on to the end, and it will not tell a lie. Was that printed in 1965, 1975, or 1985?
$75? Because it was right after their failed proclamation of Armageddon.
Yeah. I know that they were really heavy on the stuff about 1975 starting in 68. So I think it would have been a little bit too early in 65. And what was the last
80.
65, 75, or 85 are your options.
And then I know they revisited or they discussed 1975 and 1980, but I don't think they were talking about it anymore in 85. So I'm going with 75 if you agree.
Yes.
75 is our final answer.
Okay.
Oh, you got to ask him first. Go ahead. Do your thing. Do your eyebrow thing. Come on.
Is that your final answer?
It is your final answer, and it's wrong. It's 1985.
Really? Oh.
Yeah. Commiserations. So we move over to Arthur's Knights. Arthur's Knights, I need you to give me the year that the following was printed. When Jesus warned of the folly of delaying flight, he did mention a shortening of the days of tribulation that some flesh might be saved. We are now in this specially provided period for the salvation of Jehovah's sheep, when the tribulation launched against Satan's organization in 1914 has let up but will soon resume to its climax and finish in Armageddon. Was this printed in 1951, 1961, or 1971?
Arthur? Arthur? Hello?
Yes. 51, 61, 71.
Oh, these are always so tough. Because Because as Sherry and
Eyes on
Sasha
the
have remarked,
webcam,
they could have been
please.
written at any time.
Eyes on the webcam.
What were the years again? I'm sorry.
1951.
61, 71.
Yeah.
Okay. I say 61, Arthur.
I'm between 61 and 71.
Eyes on the webcam.
Remember what happened the last time you didn't go with the girl?
Yeah, well, the last time when I went with the girl, I messed it up. So I go 71.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
Arthur's
Okay.
Knights. Your answer is incorrect. It was 1951.
Oh, we were both wrong.
So
We're still there.
it's close. Going into the final round of questions of the final round, we return to Team Havalicious. Opportunity here to basically seal the competition. If you get this right, you win.
All right, focus. Let's do this.
Okay, tell me the year that this was printed. And by the way, I didn't make this up. It's a bit of a silly quote, but I didn't make it up. The tramp, tramp, tramp of the marching hosts has been heard for years now. The pace seems being speeded up to double quick time, and soon the line of battle engagement will be reached. Jesus Christ is no longer on earth in the flesh to die unresistingly as a sacrifice. No, now he is on his heavenly throne with the rod of iron in his hand. Was this printed in 1940, 1950, or 1960?
Well,
It sounds.
he took the throne in 19. I think it's A.
So the A is what, 1950? 1940?
1940, 1950, or 1960?
It sounds a lot like that old timey way of writing, the tramp, and so yeah, my gut tells me 1940. That's the option.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah,
Pure guesses.
I'm cool with that.
Is that your final answer, 1940?
Yes.
Your answer is incorrect. It was 1950, and it was from this booklet.
Yeah.
Should we know?
You got to keep that in mind. Lloyd's going to bring some publication back from the earlier rounds. You got to keep that in mind. So.
Yeah.
Anywho, so the same conundrum now faces, the same situation now faces Arthur's Knights.
Down to the last question.
Down to the last question. You need to tell me, and if you get this right, you win. What year was this printed? All the evidences are that the day is drawing near. Take all positive steps then to build up your courage, Christian courage. Only the people having the courage like that of Christ are going to pass through the world-consuming Armageddon that is ahead. Was this printed in 1952, 1962, or 1972?
1972.
72, you say?
Yeah, I think so.
I go for 62.
Ooh, he's breaking ranks. The drama.
He does it every time.
No, really, I have a gut for 62.
Okay, we'll go with 62.
One thing we never expected to hear said on the last day's live stream, I have a gut for 62. So that's your final answer, is it, Arthur?
Yeah.
Correct. 1962.
Well,
Victory for Arthur's Knights.
Ooh, I'm getting
And commiserations.
Okay, I'm done with this.
Commiserations to Team Havalicious. It seems that Apocalypse Delayed undid all of the great work that was done earlier in the quiz. But we must ask Arthur's Knights to choose a forfeit. Presumably, Arthur is familiar with what forfeits he can choose from. So let us know what you would like Team Havalicious to do in the dying embers of today's show.
I would like Hermano Ortiz to say a heartfelt prayer of forgiveness to Jehovah for losing today's quiz.
Ruthless.
Oh God.
You can say it in Espanol as well.
A rubber dub. A rubber dub. Sorry for the flub. Yay, God.
Brief and to the point.
That was so good.
Once again, commiserations to Team Havalicious. Listen, it was a fantastic quiz, very hotly contested. Some great answers. Lots of banter going on there. So thanks so much to our competitors. That pretty much brings us to the end of the show. We're almost at the 90-minute mark. I did want to mention that with the halftime show. Look, I am open to the idea of doing halftime shows in future quizzes. So if you feel like submitting an original song that you've written for the halftime show, send it through to, let's see, here's the email address to use. Or if, like Brenda, aka Mildred, you would like to just send through any video for consideration in the last day's live stream, please send it to this address and we'll consider showing it. I've enjoyed showing some other stuff in today's show. I think it's broken things up nicely. So thank you so much for that. Yeah. And with that, we come to the end. Listen, what an amazing panel. I hope you're all able to stay safe and healthy. The vaccine is on its way. So let's hold out for it. And yes, all that remains is to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. We will be back for Wednesday's show. Until then, stay safe, stay positive, and we will see you in our next show. Take care.
Bye, everyone.
Bye everyone. See ya.
Bye.